Imagine two brain scans, side by side. They look almost identical. Same size, same structure, same human brain. Except for one region, one small but critical area where one brain glows with normal activity and the other is significantly darker. That darker region belongs to someone who has been in your life. Maybe someone you loved. Maybe someone you trusted completely. Maybe someone who made you feel like everything was your fault. And here is what that brain scan is telling you. They were not choosing to hurt you. The part of their brain that was supposed to feel your pain was never fully there. Scientists have now scanned the brains of hundreds of narcissists, and what they found explains everything. Every conversation where you felt invisible, every apology that never came, every moment you wondered, am I the problem? You were not the problem. You were dealing with a brain that is structurally different from yours. But here is what nobody tells you about the narcissist brain. The most shocking discovery is not what you expect. We'll get there. But first, you need to understand what is actually missing. Welcome. Today, we are looking at one of the most studied and most misunderstood neurological profiles in modern science, the narcissist brain. What MRI scans reveal, what 2 decades of neuroscience proves, and what it means for everyone who has ever loved, worked with, or tried to understand one. Let us start with the most important brain region in this story, the Anterior Insula. This small but powerful structure sits deep within your brain. It's responsible for something most of us take completely for granted: empathy. When someone you care about is hurting, your anterior insula fires. It processes their pain almost as if it were your own. It's what makes you wince when someone else gets injured. It's what makes you tear up at someone else's story. It's what connects you to the human beings around you. Now, in 2013, researchers published a landmark study in the Journal of Psychiatric Research. They scanned the brains of individuals diagnosed with Narcissistic Personality Disorder, and what they found in the anterior insula was significantly less gray matter. Not a slight difference, a measurable, visible, structural reduction. The empathy region of the narcissist brain is physically smaller. This is not a character flaw. This is not a choice. This is anatomy. And it explains, at a neurological level, why every attempt you made to make them understand your pain felt like speaking into silence. Now let's talk about why narcissists behave the way they do. Because understanding the why changes everything. Your brain has a reward system. When you achieve something, connect with someone, feel proud of yourself, your brain releases dopamine, a natural internal reward. The narcissist brain works differently. Research shows that narcissistic individuals have reduced activity in their brain's reward processing centers. In simple terms, their brain struggles to generate its own sense of reward. Think of it like this. Most people have an internal heating system. It generates its own warmth. The narcissist brain has a broken system. It cannot hold warmth on its own. So it needs external fuel, constantly. Every compliment, every admiration, every sign that they are special, superior, above the rest. This is not vanity. This is a neurological craving, a brain desperately trying to feel what it cannot generate for itself. And when that external fuel is taken away, when you stop providing it, the reaction is not indifference. Which brings us to the twist. Here is what nobody tells you about how narcissists actually feel inside. Most people assume narcissists feel very little, cold, detached, unbothered by rejection. The neuroscience says the exact opposite.
A groundbreaking study found that narcissists' social pain is seen only in the brain. When narcissists were excluded from a group, their brain showed activity patterns associated with intense social pain, even when they reported feeling nothing. Let that land. Their brain was screaming, their face showed nothing. Narcissists do not feel less rejection.
They feel more. They have simply built an impenetrable wall between what their brain experiences and what they allow themselves or anyone else to see. This is why narcissistic rage exists. This is why the smallest perceived slight can trigger a disproportionate response. This is why they cannot let go of minor criticisms years later. The brain is keeping score, even when the mask says otherwise. Now, here is something most people do not know. There are actually two types of narcissistic brain, and they look measurably different from each other. Type 1, grandiose narcissism. This is the one most people picture: loud, dominant, arrogant, openly demands admiration, never wrong, never sorry. Type 2, vulnerable narcissism. This one is hiding in plain sight, quiet, withdrawn, frequently the victim, hypersensitive to criticism, uses guilt and victimhood to control relationships. Just as damaging, far harder to identify. Researchers found these two types have distinct, non-overlapping neural patterns, different brain signatures, different neural oscillation patterns, same diagnosis, completely different neurology. And here is why this matters for you. If you have only learned to recognize one type, the other one has already walked into your life. If this is giving you language for something you have lived through, that is exactly why this channel exists. Subscribe to the channel, because what comes next is the part that actually helps you. Here is where the science gets extraordinary. Researchers have now used advanced machine learning, AI, to analyze brain scans for narcissistic patterns, and the results are remarkable. AI can identify narcissistic personality traits from gray matter and white matter structure alone, before anyone speaks, before any behavior is observed. The brain reveals what the person conceals. We are entering an era where the neuroscience of personality disorders becomes visible, measurable, and potentially treatable in ways we have never had before. The question everyone asks, can a narcissist change? The honest neuroscience answer is this: the brain is neuroplastic. It can change at any age, but narcissistic personality disorder is one of the most treatment-resistant conditions in psychiatry. Not because change is impossible, because change requires genuine insight into the problem, and the reduced self-awareness that comes with the condition makes that insight extraordinarily difficult to access. Most narcissists never seek treatment, because in their neurology, they are not the problem, you are. So what does this mean for you? If you have spent time in a narcissistic relationship, your brain has been affected too. Chronic exposure to narcissistic behavior elevates cortisol, your stress hormone, disrupts your threat detection system, and can rewire your nervous system into a constant state of hypervigilance. You were not weak, you were neurologically overwhelmed. The good news, your brain can recover. Neuroplasticity works for you too. Distance from the source of chronic stress normalizes cortisol levels. Therapy, particularly trauma-focused approaches, rebuilds the neural pathways that narcissistic relationships erode. Your capacity for trust, your sense of self, your ability to feel safe in connection. These are not permanently damaged. They are waiting to be rebuilt. Let us bring it together. The narcissist's brain has measurably less gray matter where empathy should be. Its reward system cannot self-generate, making validation a neurological craving. It feels social pain more intensely than average and hides it completely. It comes in two distinct neurological types:
And the second one is the dangerous one most people never see coming. None of this excuses the damage, but all of it explains it. And understanding the mechanism is the first step to escaping it. If this gave you clarity on something you have been trying to understand, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe, because next we are going somewhere equally important: what anxious attachment actually does to your brain's chemistry, and why your nervous system gets addicted to relationships that hurt you. Think deeper, stay sovereign. See you in the next one.